Using a resistance band, we're going to do a chest opener and shoulder warm-up. So the hands will be wide, just wide enough so that you can swing your arms up and over to your backside. There should be a little bit of a sticking point just above the shoulders before you come over the head. And you really want to take your time and just work through that range of motion. Then we're going to work one side at a time, swinging one arm around to the back and the other arm around to the front. And we'll go a few times like this. Taking your time. And then we're going to switch sides. So you're going to go around the back with the other arm and forward. Really searching for that range of motion. You can toss the band aside and come down onto your knees. You can choose to sit on the tops of your feet, or you can come up onto your toes, whatever feels more stable through the hips. You want to keep the core nice and strong, hands behind your head, elbows nice and open, torso is nice and strong and tall. You're going to turn to the right as much as you can and then bend toward that right side. And then you'll find that you can turn a little bit more. Give it another bend and give it one more turn and one last bend. And then take your time coming back toward the starting position, and we'll do the same to the left. So a nice strong turn to the left and then a bend into that left side. You'll find that you can turn a little bit more. Give it another bend, up tall, and then one more turn and one more bend. Returning to that starting position and relaxing the arms. Coming down onto your hands and knees. We're going into child's pose. So you're going to sit all the way back, reaching the arms all the way forward. Really trying to stretch through the shoulders as much as you can. Focusing on some really deep breaths. Filling up the lungs, feeling them press against the rib cage, allowing the rib cage to move. You should feel the air filling through your back. Nice deep breaths, reaching with those fingertips. And when you're ready, you'll take your left hand, place it over your right, and then breathe into that left shoulder. Really focusing on opening up that space through your shoulder and your rib cage. Take your time here. And then when you're ready, you can return the left hand to its original position and move the right over the left and do the same for the right side. So really breathing into that right rib cage, allowing that right shoulder to open and the lats to release. Coming up onto your hands and knees, you're going to keep the hips stacked over the knees. Take your left arm and thread it under your right. And you're going to reach that arm all the way out, resting the left shoulder onto the floor. Keep the right arm bent so that you're gently pushing that floor away, adding a little bit of a twist through the rib cage, and breathing into the rib cage, into the shoulder, allowing the back to open. Come up nice and tall, and then we're going to switch. So taking the right and threading it under the left, gently pressing the floor away with that left arm, keeping the hips up nice and high. Deep breaths into the rib cage, into the back, trying to give everything some space to move. We're going to do that one more time. So reaching with your left over to your right side, resting your head onto the floor, taking deep breaths into the rib cage. And then coming up and switching to the other side. So taking your right arm and reaching through your left, resting that right shoulder onto the floor. Should feel a little bit more loose this time. Coming up to the hands and knees, you'll extend your legs and lower yourself down to the floor. The left arm extends out to the side, right arm is bent. Turn your head to the right and then gently push the floor away, bringing your right knee to the floor. You should feel this stretch through the left shoulder and chest, breathing nice and deep into that feeling, allowing your rib cage to move, taking your time, and when you're ready, you're going to return back to your stomach and switching sides. So the right arm extends, left arm is bent. You're going to gently push the floor away so you're facing to your left. That left knee comes down onto the floor, and it'll act as a little bit of a support. Taking your time and breathing into this stretch. Try not to force it too much. Bringing it back down to your stomach, you're going to pop it up to your knees, and then turning to one side so you're in like a fetal position. Turn your left arm over to the left, grabbing your top knee with your right hand, trying to drive that shoulder down to the floor. So taking big breaths into the rib cage is our constant theme. Allowing that shoulder to rest down to the floor, holding the knees stacked. And then take your time going back to your starting position and then popping up to your hands and knees. You're going to switch sides. So now you're going to lay on your other side. Knees are bent and held up high. The bottom arm or your left arm is on your top knee as you open up your right arm, allowing that right shoulder to come to the floor a little bit closer with each breath. Holding the knees together, you might feel this in your chest, you might feel this in your hips, you might feel it in your back. Just try not to press it too hard. You want to allow your breath to open up that stretch. So nice deep breaths in through the nose, allowing the rib cage to come up and the belly to fill, and then settling into that stretch. Bring everything forward so you're back on hands and knees, popping the hips up to a down dog. Take your time here, really pushing through the shoulders. You can rock back and forth, you can pedal your heels. Once you're ready, you're going to walk your hands to your feet, drop down in a nice low squat, raising the arms, coming up nice and tall for a big extension, and then folding, dropping into that low squat, raising the arms, reaching up nice and high, a little bit of a back bend, big fold, dropping low, raising the arms, coming up nice and high, reach. From here, we'll go into a little torso twist, allowing the arms to lead, and then into an arm swing, making sure to turn the palms up as you open up that chest, giving a little bit of external rotation, opening the chest and the back. And now into nice big circles. We're going to go back first. So big circles backward, and then big circles forward, allowing the arms to move through a full range, not rushing it.